please subscribe. Toy box dreams tonight. Memories unlocked. Toy box dreams for life. Memories unboxed. Toy box nostalgia.
Howdy friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas. In this video, we are going to be unboxing and reviewing and taking a super duper close look at the absolute brand new 2025 Mondo Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Sofubi version of Ray Fillet. Yes. Look at this. This is gorgeous. I got a lot of complaints about the packaging being non-collector friendly for the blister card versions of the Ninja Turtles and Mondo Gecko. This is completely different, though it, not completely different. We got the same on the back, but it's in a box. It comes with I guess 3 characters. We have Fish Sticks and we have Scarfish, and we also have Ray Fillet, because I don't know if it's actually 3 figures or not. I know that Scarfish is technically kind of a weapon that's alive. I just love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's so imaginative. It's so out there. It just makes me happy. I am so happy that I have this. This is amazing looking. There's even a window on the top. The figure through this giant window. It looks exactly how I wanted it to look, like how I've been anticipating since I saw those first videos of these being shown at conventions. Oh man, it just looks so good in person. He comes with hands, swappable hands. That means that Mondo definitely has to give us some sort of accessory pack for these. Like, come on, give us more hands, give us more weapons, give us diorama pieces even, give us sewer lids and stuff. That would be rad. Honestly, I don't know what Mondo's going to do after this. The stuff that Mondo has made so far, especially the Masters of the Universe stuff, and now TMNT, Madball stuff, like I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. I'm just so excited. I hope they never, ever, ever lose the license for these and they keep going with this, because a shelf full of these is going to look like heaven. Because that's probably what heaven looks like. Yeah, I guess. If you're new to Toy Box Nostalgia, you'd love to see more Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles unboxing content show up into your YouTube newsfeed, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. It truly helps out the channel. If you're a fan of Sofubi, if you're a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you love Ray Fillet, if you think that this product at the end of this video is incredible, or say you just like Toy Box Nostalgia, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love you so much forever for it. And please drop a comment below letting me know what you think of this Sofubi line. Which ones do you have? Have you amassed a collection like I did? If you did, I'd love to see toy photos. Thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video this evening, my friend. Let's just dive right in. Okay, my friends, here he is in this brand new amazing packaging. Take a look at this box that this comes in. It's definitely inspired by that original art that we already saw on the card back for the blister Sofubi that they've already released. But this is definitely collector friendly. I'm guessing it opens at the top here. Very nice. So we have those comic book style bricks as we see right there in that really nice looking comic art. Look at the shading, how they did with the dots like that. It looks kind of like a 1960s or 1950s comic that you would see like in a newspaper, right? We have that crystal clear sticker on the front, says Ray Fillet, the fist fighting fish, and it is dark blue to match his chest emblem and his watch. And wow, just that figure looks so gorgeous. It does come with that, I like to call it a ray gun, as you see back there, and he has 2 additional hands so we could swap hands. They look like trigger fingers to me. And then right there we can see Scarfish, and then we see Fish Sticks, and they are in fact in 2 bubbles, it looks like, inside there. We can see there's definitely 2 bubbles. There's the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo right there at the top right. This artwork right here, really cool, like wraps around the side, and we have my favorite piece is the payphone with the spray paint can and the exit. It no longer looks like the inside of a sewer layer anymore, even though that's what's here on the back. It looks more like a building, especially with that ladder that's kind of like on the side of the box next to the payphone. It's like you can make a call and then you could just climb up on top of this little building. So here is the card back that we've seen a bunch of times here on the channel. Here is the barcode in case you need it. It says Made in Vietnam, Nickelodeon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, copyright 2024, Viacom International. Must be 14 years old or older to have this. This is a collector's model, not a toy, and it does have some recycling information there. So that's rather nice. One last thing I'd like to go over, I know I've gone over it multiple times here on the channel with these products from Mondo, is the credits for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, specifically Ray Fillet. We have James Groman, who is responsible for the concept. We have Alex Brewer, who did the sculpting. Hector Arce painted this figure and also was an art director, as we see right there. And then we have Aaron Connolly, package art. That's who created this beautiful comic book art we see on the package. And then Jordan Christensen as the package design. So I'm guessing that's the shape of all of this. And I'm guessing that they really listened to the fans, because that was like the biggest complaint I was getting here on the channel with those, was the blister card and not being super collector friendly. So this is awesome. So let's go ahead and get this out of the package. Okay, so I just opened it and really, really strong wave, like a smell of vinyl, is coming out of here. And it's really taking me back. So inside the back of the box, we actually get a small printed card back, and it has lots of dots all over it. Very cool, kind of looks very blue sky looking, like a big cloud, kind of. On the back, you can see it's just regular raw cardboard. So here he is, my friends, Ray Fillet in the bubble. I'm so honored to get to share this experience with you, and I probably should drop a disclaimer here. If you're here because you'd like to see a comparison between this and the Playmates toy, I'm very sorry I can't find my Playmates version of Ray Fillet. Did order the remake that Playmates released, and I looked everywhere, I just can't find it, but I do have the Super 7 Ultimates version, so we'll be doing a comparison of those two. Okay, no tape, and I don't see any bands so far. This piece just kind of has these snaps right here. These bubble parts right here just kind of snap into these slots right here, keeping everything in place neatly. My friends, I cannot express to you how large this looks. This is huge. This is hulking. I can't wait to show you a comparison between this and one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or even Mondo Gecko. This is huge. Here is Fish Sticks. He is a mutated fish stick who helps out Ray Fillet in aquatic battles and stuff like that. I don't think that I should say what I think he is on this channel, because trying not to get the video banned or anything, but yeah, he's got TNT strapped to his back, and you know, he's holding the plunger, so yeah, you could probably make it out what it is. Very cool looking. I'm glad that that figure was added. And here is Scarfish. Very cool. He has an ass. For some reason, I thought he'd be armored like a top of a starfish, because he's technically a shuriken, I think. The Playmates made in that original 1990 toy of Ray Fillet, which was one of my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures of all time. It was just like a shuriken, and that kind of made sense, because he would just like crawl around the ocean floor and eat stuff. You know, he's just a sea creature, and he has that exoskeleton, which I'm not seeing here. I feel like I'm just seeing like worms almost, or guts. But I don't know, we'll take a closer look at that. Here we have a harpoon that has some rope wrapped around it. I'm guessing this is the one that plugs into Ray Fillet's back. Here we have what I like to call the ray gun, because it's like a stingray and it's a gun, right? And it's connected to a hand, and so it's actually connected to the hand. So if you think this is another trigger finger that can hold this ray gun, I don't think that's possible, because this one seems like it's pegged and glued into this hand. Yeah, if you take a look downside there, you can see that it's definitely glued in there. So this is one piece. Very cool. Still awesome to have extra hands. That is awesome. I've never had extra hands with Sofubi before. And finally, we get this piece right here. This is probably for a peg to hold this guy up, because he probably doesn't stand very well on his own. Yeah, that's probably for that dude. Very cool. Wow, so shiny. Looks like he's wet from the ocean. Here is the main course, my friends. Tonight we're going to be having a stingray for our unboxing snack. Let's begin by taking a look at the Sofubi figure's details. My friends, holy cow. This has to be the best head sculpt I've ever seen for Ray Fillet. Look at how razor sharp the eyes are, and the pupil, look, this pupil's kind of off center. Just makes him look even wackier, right? Just kind of looks super wacky. And then he has the paint that's almost like a shadow, but it's more of like a pattern like you would see probably on a sea animal. Going over the eyebrows right there, he's got these two stingray antennae right here. I'm guessing they're antenna. His neck is insanely large, and his head isn't, I feel like his neck isn't a circle, so maybe his head doesn't articulate. I'm hoping that's not the case, but look at his armor, my friends. Look at those scales. It truly looks like gold coins in person. We have some barnacle here growing on his right shoulder. And yeah, just like it's almost like a vintage Aquaman suit or something, like something you would see like in a 1960s Aquaman movie, but in 3D. Like those look like scale. Like if you were to wear some sort of mail or something, like going off into battle, that's really what this looks like in person. Super 3D, tons of shading, looks beautiful. And then we have a bright orange belt going across his waist, and as you can see is his belt buckle, he has another stingray, and he's got more barnacle. He's got some there on his crotch a little bit, and then on his left thigh we can see more barnacles just growing on him. On his right arm he's got some rope wrapped around it and a bobber with a hook. That's really awesome. I really wish that I had my Playmates figure to do some comparisons with this. On his right arm he has a massive diver watch. You can definitely tell it's almost like a tuna can, like Seiko tuna. Just because of the shape and how big it is, not necessarily the colors. I've only ever seen those in black, but they're absolutely beautiful watches and very handy when you're diving deep, like this guy probably does. Moving down here on the left side, he has a little octopus friend. Look at his octopus friend. Looks so innocent and unassuming, right? Yep, he's got 8 tentacles exactly, and he is so shiny that he looks like he's wet from the ocean. Absolutely awesome. Take a look at his fingernails. These look like Venom's hands, don't they? Like Marvel Venom, like the way that Mark Bagley draws Venom. That's what it looks like to me, sans a pinky, right? This guy only has 3 fingers and a thumb. Okay, so let's take a look at these flippers. He's definitely going scuba diving or deep sea diving with some really snazzy flippers. Speaking of flippers, flipping him over to the back, oh wow, he's got those fish that take care of like parasites and stuff and swim around with him. And we have that gouge right there, which is probably for the harpoon. We could see part of his tail sticking out here, like his backbone kind of like turns into the tail and sticks out. These stingray, like, I don't know, wings or whatever, these huge fins look fantastic. His left side is very shredded up, like he was probably bit by a large fish or shark or something. His right side's kind of chewed up also, but not as bad. This one really looks like some sort of shark tried to take a chunk out of him. But I love the 2 tones. He's got like a very light sky blue with some shading inside of it, and then he has a dark blue at the bottom. Looking fantastic. The fish are silver, like shining, just pure silver with some blue highlight on the tops of their backs, like going down their spine. And they have bright orange eyes, looking fantastic. Holy cripes. This is beautiful. This is a gorgeous piece of art to me. Hector did an incredible job with the painting. Like the shading looks absolutely phenomenal to me. And the sculpting, holy cow, look at the vein in his arm. Even his arms remind me of Marvel Venom, just so amazing. The massive off-white teeth are fantastic. I'm so happy they didn't put black lines in there. Like the Playmates version and also like the Super 7 version. This looks just so much cooler. I love that so very much. His like stingray fin, like this large back fin here, is puffy and definitely very soft. I could squish it very easily. His body has some give to it also. I could definitely push in on his sternum. His flippers are, you can probably see with the reflection there, it's got some give to the flipper. So the details, just dead on. Like, this is beautiful. The paint, look at the pink underneath the eyes. Absolutely dead on. This is beautiful and hulking. Wait till you see how big this is. So to try to give you an idea of the scale, here he is next to Mondo Gecko. He's so huge. He's so much wider also, and just massive. His head is so huge. Here he is next to Raphael, and Raphael and Mondo Gecko are both vinyl figures that are released by Mondo. These are all from the same toy line. And you could just see how massive this guy is. Like the whole torso this way on Raphael's pretty much the size of Ray Fillet's chest. That is bananas. This is so big and it's very heavy compared to this guy. This guy weighs nothing. This dude weighs nothing, but this, my friends, big time. All right, so now that we've taken a really close look at all of these absolute beautiful details, absolutely beautiful, let's move into articulation. I'm going to start with the head here, though I don't think it spins. It does. Look at that. 360-degree head spin. Moving down to the shoulder. The shoulder could go up about that far because the ropes hit the top of his armor or his suit right here. And they can only go back about this far, which is kind of straight down with his body. He does not have a bicep cut. He does not have a cut at the forearm, but he does down here at the hands, obviously, so we can easily, very easily replace these hands. Holy cow, that came off very easy. Awesome. The same goes for his right arm. So this is a thing. His watch is an actual sculpted piece. The whole piece, like this is a watch for Ray Fillet. It just goes over this. That's why this peg is so much longer on the trigger hand. You can see right there. Look at that. Yeah, you can see that hole right there. Oh my God. This thing is pristine, my friends. This thing, it's so glossy too. Like every time I look at it, I'm surprised. There's something on it that surprises me. All right, let's move down to the leg. At the pelvis, we can, I guess if we move the arm out of the way, we could get the leg almost to do 360, but his knee hits the back fin right here on his left side. We don't have any articulation at the top of the thigh or at the calf at the knee area or at the foot. So this is probably the same. Yes, definitely. Yeah, this guy definitely needs broken in, right? So his knee is going to go, just this far. That's it. And then moving back, it looks like the fin. No, it's definitely his calf. His calf is hitting this back fin piece right here. Okay, so moving back to his tail does not articulate. If you look really closely, you can see that there's definitely glue inside there holding this piece on, which is okay. I feel like if it turned anyway, it would like break its composure, but just due to its shape. Wow, look at the vein on that arm. That shading is beautiful. The sculpt is seriously blowing me away. So that's the articulation, and those are all of the absolute beautiful details. Now let's take a look at Ray Fillet's accessories. We're going to begin by taking a close look at this ray gun. Holy cow, this is beautiful. My friends, look at the paint application, the orange and the light blue. It seriously looks like some sort of decoration that you would buy like in Key West or something. Absolutely beautiful. The sculpt is fantastic. It's made of a soft material, obviously, soft vinyl. We have some orange paint at the tip of the tail up here of that ray. We do see that it is kind of like a gun. There's definitely a trigger there. When he pulls the trigger, this arrow comes flying out. And I'm not sure if the rope goes out with it, like if it's some sort of grappling gun or not, but there's definitely rope at the tip of the arrow right there. You can see right before the arrow head. The ray has gills on both sides, as we see right there. These look like gills to me also, right? If we look really closely, we could see a screw down inside there. We see wood painted inside there. And we also see a big orange handle like this. Ray gun is definitely homemade by this guy. This guy designed this thing. Very cool. I'm loving the dark blue nails and the huge hulking venom-like hands. So this is what he looks like holding his ray gun. This is huge. This figure is so huge. I don't understand. I don't get it. I've never had a figure like this. And to me, honestly, I know this is soft vinyl or sophobia or whatever you want to call it. To me, this is an action figure because of all of the articulation. Pretty much matches that of the action figure from the 1990s. 1990 to be exact, actually. So here is his alternative left hand. As we see right there, it does kind of look like a trigger finger, but probably to hold something, like hold this guy maybe. So here's what he looks like with his alternate left hand on his forearm. Looking fantastic. Look at this. This is Venom. Like, this is... somebody's messing with me. Finally, the last accessory is this harpoon, and we can see the little connector piece right there at the top to go into the back. It does have rope wrapped around it, and it does have sculpted wood grain in the wood, and we can see the metal cap right there. This whole thing looks real. Looks pretty real, like if we did a wash on that rope right there, which I could probably do very easily, you know, it could make the details pop even more than what they do with just basic natural lighting. But yeah, you can see it looks like it goes in right there, just like that. That's what he looks like with a harpoon in his back, a giant gouge taken out of his left fin from a shark. Those are all of his accessories. Let's take a look at the two other figures that come with Ray Fillet. And let's begin with Scarfish. That's this dude right here. Like I said, he was some sort of mutated alien starfish that is used as a shuriken and came with that 1990s Playmates toy. Let's take a look at his eyes. Look at his green eyes right there. Wow, that paint application, amazing. Look at his off-white teeth, look at his tongue, and the inside of his mouth is even painted meticulously. And I love the spray. I love that they did a spray to make all of those 3D details pop. He really doesn't look like he has an exoskeleton to me, though. Maybe it's just an imagination thing, I don't know. He has a peg on his bottom left foot. I mean, is that a foot? That could be an arm. This is a starfish, right? Just because of the way the face is oriented, you know, it's supposed to be down here. He's supposed to be on the ground like this, right? With his ass cheeks sticking out. I don't know. This is adorable. I'm glad that this was added in. It's squishy. It's definitely soft vinyl. And the paint is incredibly glossy on literally everything that we're looking at here because, you know, it's from the ocean, right? So next we have Fish Sticks. It's spelled S-T-I-X, and he's got what looks like an old-fashioned fireman helmet on, or maybe I don't know, he just kind of looks like a fire hydrant, actually, with the giant bolt on the top of it in this shape. But he is a mutated fish stick that helps, look at this, the details are crazy, helps Ray Fillet in aquatic battles and for anything aquatic, really. Like, he's, you know what he is, right? We're not going to say it here on the channel. Let's take a look at his glasses. They are so tight that the folds of his skin are coming over the belt of the glasses or the goggles, whatever you want to call them. His gums are like a purplish pink, and he's got a missing tooth there on his left side. One of the upper incisors, it looks like. He's painted with a beautiful shining gold that blends into a beautiful gold-orange color. His arms are a beautiful gold-orange color, very shiny, very nice looking, perfect details. His body's just gold, like shining gold. And then he has this tail, kind of looks like a shrimp tail, right? And it's shining orangish red and orange and gold. And then he's got fins that come out through a couple sticks of dynamite here, and they are also gold. The dynamite looks awesome. And it says TNT on the plunger box right there. He's holding the plunger, which is a bluish gray color. His goggles are like a silver. Actually, it kind of looks bluish silver in person. And yeah, he's got beautiful shading on the top of his helmet right here, very dark, and just makes this look super 3D, absolutely beautiful. His helmet is destroyed, by the way, and he's kind of soft. He's got some give to him. This clock is really cool. It's a bluish silver face, like on the dial there, and it has black markings on the dial, and it has like shining, almost silverish green hands on the dial, and it has these two bells here at the top. It looks like an old-fashioned alarm clock. Like, this is what my alarm clock was like when I was in high school. But it wasn't these cool colors. It was just all gold and just kind of boring and plain looking. But his belt buckle looks like it has an E on it, but it's just the way that the belt buckle is. You can see that the belt is going through, and he's using it to hold the TNT to his body and also the TNT plunger right there. I don't know what the dude's gonna do. He's I don't even want to say it. Like, I don't even want to get close to saying it on this channel, but this is fun. All of this stuff is fun. This thing is fantastic. I am so very happy that I finally have this Ray Fillet. I've been looking at it on YouTube and pictures and all kinds of social media groups and everything, just anticipating its arrival. This is a beautiful work of art, if you ask me. There's so many details. I feel like I could look at this for 10 straight minutes and just still be in awe. I don't know if that pupil is a mistake or not, just because of the way it's situated on the iris. But if that's the only flaw, I don't really care. I'm like, this thing looks amazing. And that'd be easy to fix in Photoshop. Love the articulation. I love the nostalgic feels I get from this, even though, you know, the original was nowhere near close to being this pristine and this perfect. Okay, so it's time to do a comparison. So on the left here, I have this Sofubi from Mondo. Ray Fillet, looking absolutely fantastic, super stylized, short, stubby, huge, hulking, beautiful. And then over here we have the typical action figure from Super 7. This is the Ultimates version of Ray Fillet. And Super 7's goal was to absolutely create like grown-up or adult versions of the original toy from 1990 of Ray Fillet, and I think they did an absolutely fantastic job. So you can see the black outline around the gums and the teeth, looking crazy cool. I love the head sculpt. I love everything about this action figure. I think this action figure is fantastic. Also has tons of articulation, obviously, because of just the nature of it being like a full-blown action figure rather than like a stylized replication of that original action figure. So we'll start off by taking a look at the heads and comparing the heads. So that pupil on the Mondo version is definitely off-center on his left eye, but that's okay. We could see that the Super 7 version, the pupils look absolutely fantastic, and they're actually 3D rather than just painted on. You know, the black gums and the black teeth lines, I think that looks great and almost cartoony. But there was just something off about it. Maybe it's the quality of the paint application. I don't know. It was never like really dead on for me, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. But take a look at his chest right there, like his suit. It almost looks like dinosaur scales, right? It looks really cool, whereas this one more resembles coins, like gold coins and bluish silver coins. And yeah, you can see there's absolutely a huge difference. As far as the skin tone goes, the Super 7 version is a little bit more green, but the blue on the Ray fins, this part right here, matches pretty well with this Ray Fillet on the Mondo side over here on the left. There's a lot more detail in the Super 7 version, as we see with the belt right there, especially the belt buckle. And the pants, you know, there's a lot of stretching in the pants. They look like actual like swim shorts maybe. And then taking a look at the fins, even the fins are different. Now he lacks the, you know, little octopus friend there on his leg, and that's okay. I think that's an awesome touch that Mondo did. But flipping him over to the back, you can see he's got almost the same pattern as the original from 1990. We can see we flip this over right here. They're a tad different. The Super 7 version does not have these fish right here that are like helper fish. But one thing that it does have is articulation of the tail, so we can actually spin the tail. Obviously, this one has a lot more articulation. It has a ball-jointed head, and it has like hinges and pegs in the arms. He does not have a bicep cut, but he does have a cut here at the forearm where it meets the elbow, and he has a hinge, and obviously the hand also has a hinge, which goes up and down. Very cool. His hands are softer than the actual material of the plastic of the figure itself. Just so that you can get the weapons and anything you want Ray Fillet to hold easily into the hand without having to warm them up. Now the belt, take a look at the detail on the belt for the Super 7 Ultimates version of Ray Fillet. That looks really, really good. I love all those dots like that. Whereas the Mondo version is just really plain and super duper shiny, though again, he has so much more stuff added to him than the Super 7 version. Just a lot of stuff. You can take a look at the watch. You can see it kind of still looks like the Seiko Tuna, right? It's got the black band this time, and it's yellow rather than being blue and gold like it is on the Mondo version. But it still, you know, definitely looks like a diver's watch. The watch on the Super 7 figure does not come off. It's actually part of the forearm sculpt. The Super 7 version does have some shading or maybe some spray inside of the muscles to make them appear 3D, as you could especially see in the leg sculpt here. These legs look amazing. They kind of look Masters of the Universe legs. But take a look at his neck and his head, right? They both kind of line up pretty well. I mean, this one looks like his head is pushed down a little bit, whereas the Super 7 version definitely has much more of a defined neck, which I think is cool. And I love the blue accents up here on these. I don't know what they are. Maybe antenna? I don't know what a stingray has up there. They collect food, maybe, off the sea floor. But the Mondo version has a little bit of spray in it, but definitely doesn't have like that really nice ocean color theme to it as far as the dark blue accents go. The Super 7 version kind of looks like he has dark blue eyelashes, and he definitely has that, you know, that orange underneath the eyeballs, whereas this looks less like eyelashes to me, I feel like, and he has pink under the eyeballs, which makes a lot more sense on the Mondo version. The Super 7 version does come with a second head sculpt. As you see right here, it's got a mouth open and looks very angry. Like he's maybe ready to battle or he's in battle. And yeah, this is a great head sculpt. I love this. Super 7 did an absolutely stellar job, I feel like, on the Ultimates line, specifically for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So here's the difference in Scarfish. This one resembles the Playmates version from 1990 a lot more, I feel like, just with a much better paint application. He's got those two big teeth on his bottom jaw, which the original definitely had, and looking at this, it looks like there was a bite taken out of it from some sort of bottom feeder fish. It's a big circular ring of teeth marks right there, and one of his arms looks like it came off. You can see his right arm looks like it came off and maybe it was stitched back on, or maybe grew back altogether. His eyes are a flat yellow color, and he's got black, almost like eyeliner around it, and the inside of his mouth is black, but you can see how small he is compared to the Mondo version. Absolutely awesome. Both of them are awesome. I appreciate them for many different reasons, but I love both of them. I think both Mondo and Super 7 did a great job with Scarfish. So here is the difference between fish sticks. So on the right side here, I have the Super 7 Ultimates version. Take a look at those details. Wow, Super 7 really knocked it out of the park. It looks like there's almost like a bullet hole in his helmet instead of a large crack like the Mondo version. His arms look a little bit more like arms with hands on the Super 7 version. Whereas they kind of just look like weird tentacles on the Mondo version. I like both, again, for various reasons. The belt buckles look drastically different, and just the size is just, you know, just much different. The Super 7 comes with an articulated head. As you see right there, I think that's definitely the only articulation on this, but flipping it over to the back, you can see the dynamite. Yeah, I love the wick that's on these dynamite sticks here from the Super 7 version, and the clocks are drastically different. I definitely like the Mondo clock a little bit more just because it's a little more stylized. But the teeth, take a look at the teeth. The Mondo version has a missing incisor right next to the front incisors on the top left side of Fish Stick's face, whereas the Super 7 version has all of the teeth. And you take a look at the band for the goggles, completely different, right? They still look pretty tight. Both of them, especially the Mondo version, but the Super 7 version looks like it ends at the strap that's coming down holding the helmet onto Fish Stick's head, and we don't even get that strap with the Mondo version here. It's just like, it almost looks like it's just part of his head. And again, if you were to look at it this way, like just glance at it, you probably think this is a fire hydrant, which is pretty rad. I like that. But the Super 7 version paint application is a lot more flat. You know, it's not very shiny or shimmery or anything like the Mondo version. You can see the straps are a little bit different. And you could definitely see that the skin has some sort of scales on it on the Super 7 version. Especially if I turn the head, you could look at the back of his head. There's more scales on it to make it really stick out. His goggles, like the lenses of his goggles, are blacked out on the Super 7 version, which kind of makes more sense if he's trying to block very bright light from maybe, I don't know, exploding dynamite, from deteriorating his retinas, whereas this one just looks very almost reflective, like it's reflecting some sort of crazy bright light all the time. So yeah, again, I like both of these just for various reasons. I love that we have multiple versions of Fish Sticks. I never thought that I would ever have these large versions in my collection. I'm very happy to have both of them. And finally, here's the difference in size of the hands. Now, I would love to get this kind of hand off of my Super 7 Ray Fillet, but it won't come off. I might have to warm it up. When I try to take it off, I could see the hinge start to separate, as you see right there. But we could still see the big differences there. They both have detail in them. The Super 7 version has more veins in the hand, making it look a lot more realistic, and it looks a lot less like Venom's hand. Whereas the Mondo version, we do have knuckle indentations, as we see right there on each knuckle. Very cool. And the nails are sharp and painted, and the hand is just so much bulkier. Whereas this, the nails kind of look like they're just regular human nails. It kind of looks like a human hand minus a pinky. Yeah, but again, you get a lot more articulation, obviously, because this is a straight up action figure, whereas this is a Sofubi version. So yeah, that's it. I love how shiny this is. So the Super 7 Ultimates version of Ray Fillet also comes with this sprue, which has a giant anchor on it and rope, and it has an extra ray gun, and we also get another Scarfish, one that's just not painted, but they're all the exact same sculpts, I believe. The only other extra piece that you get is this right here, this anchor with this beautiful gold rope, and this anchor definitely looks very much like the one that's on the sprue. So they're probably the same. This one's just painted in a nice silver. Unfortunately, it just doesn't scale well with the Mondo version. It would have looked awesome in his hand if this were much, much bigger. So maybe that's one of the accessories we could get in an accessory pack from Mondo for their Sofubi TMNT. So the final comparison I'd like to make is the two ray guns. Again, I'm just calling these ray guns because there's a stingray as part of the gun itself. And you can see there is a drastic difference between these two. They both look absolutely fantastic, and they both do their job. Like, I think, again, I like them for various reasons. This one's just super bulky and over stylized and fat looking to match that figure, and especially those big hands. Again, I can't take this out of the hand because it's part of the hand sculpt, but you can see the Super 7 version. It's just black with some orange plastic, and this part looks like a lobster tail maybe that was added to it. They both look like homemade weapons that Ray Fillet made. It's just kind of hard to see all of the details in the black plastic because it absorbs a lot of light. It's not very reflective, and that's kind of a shame. So I'm going to give the winner to this guy for sure. I mean, holy cow, right? But again, I like them both for various reasons, and this one fits perfectly fine with this Super 7 Ray Fillet. You can see him holding his weapon. Very, very cool. And truly, I believe that Super 7 and Mondo both did stellar jobs at making Ray Fillet. But this one by far just, I don't know, something about this one. And it's not just because it's new in my collection. Like, this art style just really aligns with whatever the hell's going on in my soul right now when I'm looking at this. So thank you so much for joining me this evening, my friends. This has been the Toy Box Nostalgia unboxing and review and super duper close look at the absolute brand new 2025 Mondo soft vinyl / Sofubi version of Ray Fillet, fish sticks, and Scarfish. I love the new packaging. I love everything about this, the paint application, the details, the articulation. It's just dead on, all perfect. I am incredibly satisfied with the artist's decisions and work and everything, all the love especially that went into this project from Mondo. Thank you so much, Mondo. Like, I've wanted this probably my whole life and just didn't know it. I'd love to know your favorite story of Ray Fillet, so please drop that in the comment below, and also please let me know what you think of these new Sofubi figures from Mondo, specifically the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures, and even Ray Fillet. Love to kick off the conversation and get all this started, start talking about these, because they bring me so much joy, and I had to share it. Thank you so much, my friend, for joining me this evening. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and remember, collect and shoot.